Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ebony Janice. I go by Ebony Janice, which means that you should call me Ebony Janice. And it is a hip hop sermon Thursday. It's a preach eb about Lisa Left Eye Lopez. I've actually been wanting to do this one for a while because I think that we have probably missed something about who Lisa Left Eye Lopez was. Not the TLC Left Eye, not the burn down the house Left Eye, the Left Eye who went to Honduras at 30 years old looking for something, healing for God, for herself, for answers to questions she couldn't even fully articulate yet, and died in the middle of that search. That woman was a prophet, and I don't know how often we talk about her in that way. I don't mean a prophet like she predicted things. I mean, she saw what everyone else was looking past, and she kept interrupting the performance to say so. In the middle of one of the most successful girl groups in history, she was the one saying, wait a minute, there's something underneath all of this that we're not talking about. She wore a condom on her eye at the VMAs in 1994. And people called it a stunt. That is a theological argument about black women's bodies and who gets to make decisions about them on national television. That's not a stunt. That's a woman who could not stop herself from telling the truth, even when the room wasn't ready for it. That's a prophet. If you pull up Waterfalls, I know that you know the song, but if you hear it today as a theological text, Waterfalls is a full-on lament. It's a woman sitting with the grief of watching people she loves make choices that are pulling them toward destruction and being unable to stop it. The tenderness of that song, the specific way it holds both the people it is singing about and the sorrow of loving them at the same time, that is pastoral theology. That's what a prophet does when the warning has not been received. You grieve. Left Eye wrote her verse, and her verse is the sharpest, most direct theological statement on the whole track. Like, it makes it clear what we're talking about here. She's not softening the message. She is naming it plainly. This is what is happening. This is what it costs. This is what we need to hear. I seen a rainbow yesterday. I don't know why that just came out of me. Obviously, I do. But this is the prophetic tradition carried inside of hip-hop. In the last years of her life, Left Eye went to Honduras seeking something. She documented it. She talked openly about visions, about spiritual experiences, about feeling like she was being prepared for something she didn't fully understand yet. And then she died there in 2002 at 30 years old. And what stays with me all these years later is that she was in the middle of a genuine spiritual search. She was asking the questions that come right before a breakthrough. She was in the space of becoming something, and we don't get to know what that something was, not without our own spiritual imagination. What the music might have sounded like if she had lived. What she would have brought back had she lived. What the fully formed version of Left Eye looks like on the other side of that search, again, outside of our own spiritual imagination. And we don't get to know that, and I think that we never really process our grief about that. But what I want to leave with us is Left Eye took her own interior life seriously enough to go looking for answers, even when the search was uncomfortable, even when nobody around her fully understood what she was doing or why. She interrupted the performance, a really big performance, because she knew something more important was happening underneath it. And she went to the wilderness because something was calling her there. Ask yourself, what are you being called to go looking for? What question is living inside of you right now that you keep making yourself too busy to sit with? Left Eye went looking. That courage is the sermon. And I want to end by saying I actually had I might be in it, Left Eye, borderline Hotep-ish experience in my own spiritual journey. And I appreciate being able to live to this point, to be able to continue to talk about it out loud. And I wonder what other prophetic words exist inside of going back to reflect on some of the ancestors, our hip-hop ancestors, both listening through their lyrics and into their interviews and into whatever the final documentation of their life was, to see what were they saying that we missed at the time because we didn't understand them as prophets. We thought of them as just something that made us feel good.